Across the world, remnants of ancient times quietly lie in wait, mysterious places that ignite our imagination. Forgotten cities and long-lost structures, buried by centuries, have slowly emerged back into our awareness. Hidden deep in isolated regions, many remain known only to local communities. Over time, nature reclaimed these wonders, covering them in dense vegetation. Some are discovered in the most unexpected places, while others, immense and ancient, reveal their full form only when viewed from the sky. In this journey, we'll reveal breathtaking remnants of ancient civilizations. Along the way, we'll encounter extraordinary formations, still debated whether they are natural wonders or creations of early humanity. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share video. Sigiriya, Sri Lanka. Rising nearly 200 meters above the central plains of Sri Lanka, Sigiriya stands like a colossal rock fortress surrounded by dense forest. In the 5th century, King Kassapa I transformed this massive rock into his royal capital and built a lavish palace on its summit. The ascent to the top leads through a winding stairway carved into the cliffs, passing by ancient corridors and the legendary mirror wall. Sigiriya's renowned frescoes, depicting celestial maidens in vibrant colors, remain among the finest examples of ancient Sri Lankan art. The Grand Lion Gate, now marked by two surviving paws, once formed the entrance to the royal complex, giving the site its name, Lion Rock. Although the palace atop the rock has faded with time, its stone foundations and reflective pools still echo the elegance of a vanished kingdom. Surrounding the rock are landscape gardens, moats, and hydraulic systems, revealing advanced engineering and aesthetic sensibility. Sigiriya is more than an architectural marvel. It is a symbol of royal ambition, artistic grandeur, and the fleeting nature of power. Machu Picchu, Peru. Machu Picchu, a centuries-old Incan stronghold, sits high in the Peruvian Andes. Surrounded by stunning natural scenery, it radiates an air of mystery, often shrouded in layers of mist. In 1911, American explorer Hiram Bingham and his team journeyed into the Urubamba Valley. Their path was led by local farmer Agustin Lizarraga, who had discovered the ruins years before and revealed their location. The site features temples, palaces, and a sophisticated irrigation system, all constructed with impressively advanced engineering skills. As no Incan writings reference the city, its original function remains unclear. It is thought to have been deserted around the time of the Spanish conquest, though the precise cause is still debated. Petra, Jordan. Through a narrow canyon in southern Jordan, visitors arrive at Petra, one of the Middle East's most remarkable archaeological treasures. Once a thriving city, it served as the capital of the Nabatean Kingdom, an ancient Arab civilization that adapted ingeniously to the harsh desert landscape. They carved robust structures directly into the rose-colored cliffs, blending architecture with nature. Despite its arid surroundings, Petra once possessed a sophisticated water management system that supported agriculture and daily life. The city eventually became uninhabited in the 6th century and remained hidden from the outside world until its rediscovery in 1812 by Swiss explorer Johann Ludwig Burckhardt. Following Petra's revelation, English traveler Charles Montague heard tales of a similar site deep in the Arabian desert. In 1876, he reached the ruins of Hegra in present-day Saudi Arabia, documenting his journey in a diary titled Travels in Arabia Deserta. Also known as Madain Salih, Hegra was the second largest city of the Nabatean Kingdom after Petra. The surrounding rocks were carved into grand tombs belonging to individuals of varying social ranks, including military elites. Due to its isolation and dry climate, the site remains extraordinarily well preserved. Tayunima, Colombia. Hidden deep within Colombia's jungle is a forgotten city concealed in a remote expanse of thick, steamy vegetation. The only way to access this archaeological site is by foot, involving several days of trekking through dense rainforest. Uncovered in 1972, the location was revealed when treasure hunters came across a collection of stone platforms. This is the Lost City, or Tayuna, an ancient Tairona settlement believed to have been established atop a mountain roughly 1,300 years ago. It may have once housed thousands. The site features an extraordinary arrangement of stone terraces carved into the mountainside, all linked by a network of stone-paved trails known as sagara. Angkor, Cambodia. In Cambodia, temples of the ancient Khmer Empire lay hidden for centuries beneath the dense jungle. Among them, Angkor Wat, brought to light by French explorer Henri Mouhot in 1860, stands as one of the largest religious structures in the world. Originally built as a Hindu sanctuary dedicated to Vishnu, it gradually transformed into a Buddhist temple. In Ta Prohum, another temple of Angkor, the jungle has been reclaiming its space. Enormous trees like ficus have grown among the ruins, creating a surreal blend of nature and stone. Nearby stands the Ban Temple, the last completed sanctuary of Angkor. Its towers bear hundreds of serene faces. These faces could symbolize Buddhist deities, or perhaps King Jayavarman VII, under whose reign the temple was built. Nazca Lines, Peru. Across the ocean in Peru, the Nazca Lines stretch across the arid plains, mysterious geoglyphs etched into the earth by the ancient Nazca culture. Though officially identified by archaeologist Toribio Mejia Cespe in 1927, it's possible that Peruvian pilots had glimpsed them earlier from the air. These vast figures and straight lines span the desert floor, some visible from nearby hills, but their full forms can only be seen from above. Among the most intricate is the hummingbird, though it may actually represent a local bird like the Andean condor, native to the region. The spider, with its extended legs, showcases the astonishing precision of the creators in maintaining proportion on such a grand scale. The spiral, with its enigmatic curves, echoes symbolic designs found in ancient Andean art. Teotihuacan, Mexico. Hidden in the Valley of Mexico lie the remains of Teotihuacan, a pre-Hispanic city that existed long before the rise of the Mexicas and the Mayas. Its origins and the identity of its builders, often called the Teotihuacanos, remain a mystery. Scholars continue to debate who they were and why such a monumental city was eventually abandoned. When the Mexicas, later known as the Aztecs, discovered the ruins, they were so awestruck that they believed the city had been created by the gods themselves. The Avenue of the Dead, a broad ceremonial road, runs through the center of the site. To the east stands the massive Pyramid of the Sun, the largest structure in Teotihuacan. It is believed to have been dedicated to a solar deity or to the act of creation itself. At the northern end of the avenue rises the Pyramid of the Moon, possibly serving as a sanctuary for religious ceremonies and lunar worship. The layout of the entire city may reflect Teotihuacan cosmology or align with astronomical events, revealing the civilization's deep understanding of the heavens. Tikal, Guatemala. In the heart of the Guatemalan jungle lies the ancient city of Tikal, which flourished around 1,500 years ago. Once one of the most powerful political, economic, and military centers of the Maya civilization, it played a central role in shaping Mesoamerican history. Tikal is located within the Maya Biosphere Reserve, Guatemala's largest protected natural area. Due to its remote location, the ruins remained unexplored until 1848, when local authorities first reached them. Early photographs taken in the late 19th century show the city still cloaked in dense jungle. Among grand plazas, acropolises, and towering pyramids, thousands of structures remain. Atop several of the tallest pyramids, temples rise into the sky, where religious rituals once took place. Yet, despite its magnificence, Tikal was eventually abandoned around a millennium ago, as Maya society began to collapse. Bagan, Myanmar. Once the majestic capital of the Bagan Kingdom, the first to unify the lands of present-day Myanmar, this ancient city stood as a beacon of power and devotion. After its decline and eventual abandonment, It disappeared into silence, forgotten by time, until Scottish engineer Henry Yule brought it back to the world's attention in 1855. During its golden age from the 11th to 13th centuries, a breathtaking landscape of over 2,000 Buddhist temples and stupas rose from the plains, creating a sacred skyline that still enchants the soul. Centuries may have passed, yet the city remains alive with devotion. Monks in saffron robes and humble pilgrims continue to walk its sacred grounds, preserving its timeless spirit of faith and wonder. Chichen Itza, Mexico. Hidden beneath the dense canopy of the Yucatan jungle for centuries, Chichen Itza once stood as one of the grandest cities of the ancient Maya civilization. Though explorers began arriving in the 1840s, much of the site remained buried by 1892, as if time itself had cloaked it in secrecy. Among its ceremonial grounds, the city featured the Mesoamerican ball game, one of the oldest known sports in human history, infused with sacred meaning. Yet the most iconic structure is El Castillo, the pyramid of Kukulkan, the feathered serpent deity. Rising with 365 steps, it mirrors the solar calendar, embodying the Maya's mastery of astronomy and symbolism. To the north lies the sacred cenote, a deep natural well where rituals were performed. Offerings of jewelry, ceramics, and even human lives were cast into its depths, acts of reverence meant to reach the gods of rain, fertility, and renewal. Selime Monasteries, Turkey. Carved into the towering rock formations of Cappadocia, the Selime Monasteries rise like a forgotten fortress above the Ilara Valley. Believed to date back to the 8th or 9th century, this vast monastic complex was hollowed directly into volcanic tuff, forming chapels, kitchens, living quarters, and even a cathedral. The interiors, though worn by time, still hint at frescoes and ceremonial spaces once alive with religious devotion. Used by early Christian communities as both a sanctuary and place of worship, the complex reveals the resilience and artistry of those who lived hidden among these stone spires. From above, the clustered caves seem to merge seamlessly with the cliffs, silent witnesses to centuries of faith and survival. Maiden Castle, United Kingdom. Towering above the Dorset landscape, Maiden Castle is not a castle in the traditional sense, but a vast Neolithic hill fort with origins tracing back nearly 6,000 years. In the Iron Age, it evolved into a thriving center for residential life and iron production, protected by massive earthworks that still dominate the rolling countryside. Following the Roman conquest of Britain, the site shifted to agricultural use before its gradual abandonment. Its significance was brought to light in the late 19th century through the efforts of Augustus Pitt Rivers, while more extensive excavations were carried out by Mortimer Wheeler in 1934, revealing complex layers of human occupation. Borobudur, Indonesia. Recognized as one of the world's grandest Buddhist structures, Borobudur was built during the 8th to 9th centuries. It came to the attention of the Western world in 1814, thanks to Sir Stamford Raffles, then British governor of Java. The monument is conceived as an enormous mandala representing the Buddhist cosmos and the journey towards spiritual awakening. Its architectural layout features a tiered design, beginning with a square foundation and rising to a central dome. By the 14th century, Borobudur was left in abandonment, possibly due to the eruption of Mount Merapi or shifts in the region's ruling dynasties. Ayutthaya, Thailand. From 1350 to 1767, Ayutthaya served as the majestic capital of the Kingdom of Siam. Carefully designed with a sophisticated urban layout, the city featured elegant temples, palaces, and soaring towers in classic Thai style. Its strategic position made it a cosmopolitan hub, home to thriving communities of Portuguese, Japanese, and French merchants, each living in distinct quarters. For centuries, Ayutthaya resisted regional invasions. However, in 1767, the city was ravaged by the Burmese army and left in ruins. By 1770, a Danish traveler described it as overgrown and silent, inhabited by elephants and tigers, ghosts of a once glorious kingdom. Ephesus, Turkey. Once one of the great cities of the Roman Empire, Ephesus was home to the Temple of Artemis, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Over time, The city declined during the early Middle Ages and was eventually abandoned by the 14th century. Rediscovered in the 1860s, Ephesus now reveals its past grandeur. The Library of Celsus, one of the largest libraries of antiquity, was built to store more than 12,000 scrolls, a symbol of the city's brilliance as a center of learning. Nearby, the Great Theater still stands, once echoing with the voices of 25,000 spectators, gathered for dramatic performances and gladiatorial contests that brought the city to life. Göbekli Tepe, Turkey. Far away in southeastern Turkey, Göbekli Tepe stands as one of the most significant and mysterious archaeological discoveries of modern times. Though identified in the 1960s, extensive excavations led by archaeologist Klaus Schmidt did not begin until decades later. The site revealed one of the oldest known stone temple complexes in human history, dating back over 12,000 years, long before the construction of the Egyptian pyramids. This astonishing age has challenged long-held assumptions about early human development. According to previous theories, humans at that time were nomadic hunter-gatherers without the means or organization to create monumental structures. However, the massive stone pillars and the precision of the symbolic animal reliefs carved into them suggest otherwise. These carvings remain enigmatic, their meanings not yet fully understood. At some point, the sanctuary was deliberately buried, a mystery that helped preserve it in remarkable condition until its rediscovery in the modern era. Persepolis, Iran. Persepolis in Iran, excavated since the 1930s, once served as the capital of the Persian Empire. Its artistic and architectural elements reflect a fusion of Assyrian, Egyptian, and Median styles. The city's grand entrance, known as the Gate of All Nations, was flanked by colossal winged bulls. Inside the palaces, elaborate reliefs portrayed banquets and ceremonial processions. After the arrival of Alexander the Great, a fire devastated the city, though it's still debated whether this was accidental or a deliberate act of revenge. Sacsayhuaman, Peru. This site stands as a powerful testament to the architectural and engineering mastery of the Inca civilization. While scholars debate its original purpose, possibly a temple to the sun god Inti or a military fortress, it remains a monumental achievement. Spanish historian Pedro Sarmiento de Gamboa was among the first to describe it after arriving in Cusco in 1533. The most astonishing aspect is the precision with which massive stone blocks were cut and fitted together, so tightly aligned that even a knife blade cannot pass between them. It is believed the stones were first shaped in nearby quarries and then finally finished at the construction site. Ellora Caves, India. In western India, the Ellora Caves form a breathtaking complex of temples carved directly into solid rock. Construction began in the 6th century and continued for over 5 centuries under dynasties such as the Rashtrakuta and Yadava. These caves reflect the spiritual and artistic legacy of Buddhism, Hinduism, and Jainism. From the 9th century, Buddhist monks visited the site, and by the 17th century, European travelers had begun to take notice. Each cave was hewn by hand, resulting in monumental structures adorned with elaborate reliefs and life-size statues that depict sacred stories and deities. Pinara, Turkey. Pinara in Turkey held a prominent place in the ancient Lycian state. Its extraordinary tombs were carved directly into steep cliff faces. The placement of these tombs suggests a spiritual intention to aid the deceased on their journey to the afterlife. To the south, near the village of Kash, lies the most astonishing Lycian tomb, precisely hewn into the center of a vertical cliff. Abu Simbel in Egypt comprises a pair of monumental temples built during the reign of Ramses II, around 3,300 years ago. When Swiss explorer Johann Ludwig Burckhardt discovered them in 1813, they were mostly buried beneath desert sand. The larger temple is dedicated to Ramses II, alongside the gods Ra-Harakti and Amun. The smaller temple honors Queen Nefertari and the goddess Hathor. Pompeii, Italy. In 1592, while working on the construction of an aqueduct, Italian architect Domenico Fontana, often misattributed as Inanna, uncovered traces of an ancient Roman city, Pompeii. Once a thriving settlement, Pompeii was home to grand public buildings and luxurious private villas that reflected the wealth of the Roman elite. In 79 AD, the catastrophic eruption of Mount Vesuvius buried the city under a thick layer of volcanic ash and pumice. This sudden disaster preserved Pompeii in extraordinary detail. Many residents perished, some from collapsing structures, others from scorching gas flows or suffocation beneath the ash. Centuries later, archaeologists discovered voids in the hardened ash, where human bodies had decomposed. These were filled with plaster, creating haunting casts that captured the victims' final moments. In addition to these casts, the ash preserved an abundance of frescoes, artifacts, and architectural remains, offering a vivid window into daily life in ancient Rome. Valley of the Kings, Egypt. Located in a stark desert landscape surrounded by rugged cliffs, the Valley of the Kings served as the royal necropolis for many pharaohs of ancient Egypt, including Ramses II and Seti I. Hidden within the valley's rocky terrain are elaborately carved tombs meant to ensure the safe journey of the king's soul into the afterlife. In 1799, during Napoleon's campaign in Egypt, French scholars mapped and documented many of the tombs. These burial chambers were decorated with bas-reliefs and vibrant murals, often portraying scenes from the pharaoh's life, encounters with gods, and passages from sacred texts such as the Book of the Dead. Among the most celebrated discoveries is the tomb of Tutankhamun. After years of excavation, it was unearthed in 1922 by British archaeologist Howard Carter. Legend says that when Carter first peered inside, He held up a candle, and its flickering light glinted off golden treasures untouched by time. This moment was unprecedented. The pharaoh's sarcophagus and funerary artifacts had remained intact for over 3,000 years. Today, many of these remarkable objects, including the iconic golden death mask, are housed in the Egyptian Museum in Cairo, offering a rare glimpse into the grandeur of ancient Egyptian burial rites. Mahabalipuram, India. In the 1880s, British archaeologist Alexander Ray began studying the ancient ruins of Mahabalipuram, a coastal city once under the rule of the Pallava dynasty in the 7th century. Legends speak of 7 magnificent temples, so beautiful they incited the jealousy of Indra, the storm deity, who caused the sea to swallow all but one, the shore temple. This myth may be rooted in real disaster. After the 2004 tsunami, submerged ruins re-emerged, revealing possible traces of the lost temples. The site preserves shrines, rock-cut caves, and intricate stone sculptures showcasing the brilliance of ancient Indian artistry. On a nearby slope rests Krishna's butterball, a giant granite boulder perched at a seemingly impossible angle. While many view it as a natural marvel, others suspect ancient ingenuity. Temple of Dendera, Egypt. In the heart of ancient Egypt stands the Temple of Dendera, dedicated to Hathor, the goddess of love, joy, and music. This is one of the best preserved temples of its kind, with origins tracing back over 2,000 years. Although travelers began arriving around 1840, the temple remained largely buried in sand until 1880. Within its walls lie some of Egypt's most controversial and fascinating artifacts. The most captivating feature is the hypostyle hall, where massive stone columns rise to support a ceiling covered in detailed paintings and inscriptions. Each column is crowned by a capital carved in the likeness of Hathor, her face serene and symmetrical. The ceiling and walls display vibrant bas-reliefs and hieroglyphs recounting rich mythological tales involving the gods of ancient Egypt. Not far from the hall is the famous Dendera zodiac, a celestial map carved in stone, an ancient attempt to capture the movement of the stars. Descending into a shadowy crypt, one encounters the mysterious Dendera light. This bas-relief shows a snake emerging from a lotus-shaped object, which some have speculated to be an ancient electric lamp. Yet, Egyptologists interpret it as a symbolic scene. The snake representing Harsomptus, a form of Horus, god of creation, and the bulb-like shape symbolizing a lotus flower, a traditional emblem of birth and cosmic renewal. Mount Nemrut, Turkey. Atop one of the highest peaks in eastern Anatolia lies the mysterious archaeological site of Mount Nemrut. Around 2,000 years ago, King Antiochus I of Commagene erected colossal stone heads representing himself alongside deities such as Zeus and Apollo. These figures once belonged to seated statues whose remains are scattered across the mountaintop. Inscriptions suggest this was both a monument and a sacred space. It is believed the king's tomb lies beneath the artificial mound of stones, though excavations have yet to confirm the exact burial chamber. Knossos, Greece. Once the flourishing capital of the Minoan civilization, Knossos was brought to light in 1878 by a Cretan explorer. This ancient city is deeply tied to Greek mythology, particularly the tale of Theseus and the Minotaur, the half-man, half-bull creature said to have been imprisoned in a labyrinth built by order of King Minos. The Grand Palace complex at Knossos, often described as labyrinthine itself, contains over 1,000 interconnected chambers with corridors of varying widths. Its walls are adorned with vivid frescoes, offering glimpses into scenes of everyday life in Minoan society. Pisac, Peru. Perched high in the mountains, this archaeological site stands out as one of the most extraordinary remnants in Peru's Sacred Valley. The Inca civilization demonstrated remarkable ingenuity in adapting to the rugged, high-altitude terrain. Ingenious agricultural terraces were carved into steep hillsides, often clinging to the edge of cliffs. These terraces were engineered to collect rain and glacial meltwater, channeling it through successive levels. Each level created a distinct microclimate, enabling the growth of diverse crops, from potatoes and maize to fruits typically found in subtropical zones. Troy, Turkey. Troy, located in modern-day Turkey, is famed as the backdrop of the Iliad, the renowned epic linked to Homer. For generations on Unveil, it was considered a legendary city, comparable to Atlantis or El Dorado. That belief shifted in 1870 when the German archaeologist Heinrich Schliemann unearthed its remains. In the ancient world, Troy played a pivotal role as a hub for trade and cultural exchange between Asia and Europe. Across more than 4 millennia, the city was destroyed and rebuilt multiple times, with each new layer rising directly atop the remnants of the old. Lamanai, Belize. This is one of the few Maya settlements that was continuously inhabited for over 3,500 years, from ancient times until the 17th century. Hidden deep in the jungle, it remained largely unknown until 1917, when British doctor and archaeologist Thomas Gann explored the site. Due to dense vegetation, the ruins are often accessed by boat. One of Lamanai's most remarkable structures is the Jaguar Temple. Flanking its staircase are 2 massive masts believed to represent Maya gods, guardians of the city. Blythe in Taglios, United States. Thanks to the scarce rainfall and sparse vegetation in the Colorado desert, these figures have remained well preserved for centuries. Formed by removing layers of rock, their age is estimated to range from 450 to 2,000 years. Remarkably, they are best viewed from above, and it was actually a local pilot who first spotted them in 1931. The purpose behind their creation is still a mystery. Among these figures, the anthropomorphic shapes stand out the most, alongside various images of animals and plants.